So I've now combined the song pieces here. Let's just turn the link back on with the story pieces here. And I'll just go full screen. And you can see I've adjusted volume on the song as I go. I've also, if you go in tight, added 2-frame audio adjustments on every single clip from the interview track. On top of that, I also have done some adjustments to the visuals, particularly where I want the headshot to appear. So it's here, comes down, and we go from the wide, and then I cut to the tight when I think it's got a good spot. It's actually a line of dialogue I used in this instance where it was a good cue, or I thought it was a good cue to switch, and it's where she says, I'm inside of myself more.
Really sincerely, you can just kind of tell like if the voice.
Okay, it's about the song. Anyway, sincerely is the cue I chose. There's also these hands at the beginning, so I thought I want to keep those hands. Now, one thing about our headshot and our medium shot, I think when we framed them, she was sitting up straight, and as our interview went on, she sometimes, not hunched, but just like slumped slightly on the stool, and that's why we have more space up here than we do here as well. Here, more space on top than on the bottom. So something to watch out for all of us. Okay, let's get to the point of this video. So now that I have my story track and my song mostly laid out, what I ended up having was this huge chunk where we have her singing and we have a choice of 2 shots, right? We either have, this one or the one we started off here. So I want to go through the extra B-roll that has been shot and provided, and I want to see if there's anything that I can use. So the first thing I'm going to do, open up my B-roll panel, and I'm just going to go into this random. So inside of this folder is just a bunch of B-roll that I shot with the 5D Mark II on, and most of it's the 300 f2.8 lens. I know I have a shot here that I kind of want to end with, but there's some other things within that might be usable as I just skim through it here. There's a lot of different kind of random things added in here that we can use to provide alternate takes. So I'm actually going to create a new sequence, and I'm going to just go through this footage and see what I want to use. So I'm going to right click or control click on one of these clips, and I'll just go new sequence from clip, and there it is. And I'm going to call this B-roll extras, and that's that. Now when I did that, as you can see, it created this whole new timeline, and it just added the entire clip. And I don't want to add that entire clip because for sure there's pieces that I don't want to use. So I'll delete it. Now I'm going to open it up over here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through it, I'm going to set some in and out points, and I'm going to make decisions about which pieces I actually want to try to use. So just turn our volume on mute for this one, and we'll just start. So I'm trying to get some like shot of the camera back. Now that's just not smooth enough to use, but this is interesting. So let's see, I'm just going to set an in point for now and just I for endpoint and just see where this goes. And there's a nice little focus pull. Oh, but it moved. I'm going to back up. I don't like the movement, it's too jerky. I'm going to take an out point, and now I have that little bit of B-roll that I think might be long enough to use in some kind of sequence. I'm going to go here and drag video only, so I'm not bringing this audio. I'm just going to bring this video, and I'm going to place this in my B-roll extra sequence, and I'm going to see now if I can put a little sequence together with some of the stuff that I've shot. So we'll continue playing, And now this might be useful. This might be the same shot just done differently. Yeah, it looks like another focus pull. Let's just try it and see what happens. Oh, no, we don't like that movement. Yeah, there we go. So there's another little focus pull. Let it go for a few seconds. And we'll try that and see what we got. So now you've come up with this sequence, and they're both kind of pulling focus. Not ideal, but kind of like that. And there's just another example. So this is just me playing around and getting a few extra clips. Let's see where this goes. Actually, you know, that might be sort of a useful... No, not really. Let's just try this out. That little right there, kind of an interesting thing to use as an edit point, maybe. Okay, and we'll go down, and now this is going to be sort of this end bit. Let's just see what we got starting here. Oh, I'll update that, update that, update that. In. And here she is packing the guitar away. And it's a neat shot to sort of end our video on. Maybe a bit long. Let's just see. And then exit the frame out, stop, and we'll take that. And there we go. So now we have a little sequence from just one clip that I created, and maybe that's going to be something that's usable. Okay, so once I have something created here as a sequence that I like, I maybe can go over now and add this to my very top layer to cover some of the same stagnant shot, right? So I would maybe take this and say, well, this is my final sequence, for example. I'm just going to move down here. I'm going to actually end up creating a new layer for this up here. So something like that ends up being the end bit of my sequence. Maybe. I'm not sure I like that first one, but there you go. So you go in, set in and out points, create a new sequence here, and fill up some of these static shots that you have with the B-roll that you've created. One word of caution, I have provided also just some shots that I did on my Sony. These were actually shot, do the same thing in and out here. Like I said, on my Sony camera, so they have a different video codec. So when you drop this into here, you may have some issues playing back or not. But there's my own sequence. So add your own sequences as well. You want to cover as much of the standard visual here as you can now with other things. One trick, of course, is to watch these chords. Try your best to sort of line this up. Alright, so go through your B-roll, everything you got, both what I've provided with you with, and the B-roll that you shot yourself, and you're going to add this now over to the very top layer. We're on video track 5 if you've been working the same as I have.